Once upon a time, in a bustling town nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was known far and wide for his fiery temper. His anger would flare up like a blazing fire at the slightest provocation, causing rifts in friendships and trouble in his community. One sunny morning, as Ethan was walking through the town square, his temper flared up once again. Someone accidentally bumped into him, spilling his coffee all over his shirt. Instantly, Ethan felt the familiar surge of anger rising within him. He clenched his fists, ready to unleash his fury upon the poor soul who had crossed his path. But then, something unexpected happened. A wise old man sitting on a nearby bench called out to Ethan, "Young man, why do you let your anger control you? There is a better way." Ethan paused, intrigued by the old man's words. He approached the bench cautiously, his anger still simmering beneath the surface. "What do you mean?" Ethan asked, his voice tinged with skepticism. The old man smiled kindly and began to share his wisdom. "Anger is like a wild beast, young one. If you let it roam freely, it will devour everything in its path, including you. But if you learn to tame it, you can harness its power for good." Ethan listened intently as the old man explained the keys to controlling anger. He spoke of patience, empathy, and understanding. He spoke of taking deep breaths and counting to 10 before reacting. He spoke of forgiveness and letting go of grudges. As Ethan soaked in the old man's words, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. For the first time in his life, he realized that he didn't have to be a slave to his anger. He had the power to choose how he responded to life's challenges. From that day forward, Ethan embarked on a journey to master his emotions. Whenever anger threatened to consume him, he would remember the old man's words and take a step back. He would breathe deeply and remind himself that kindness and understanding were far more powerful than rage. Over time, Ethan's friends and neighbors began to notice a change in him. He was no longer quick to anger, but instead he radiated calmness and compassion. He became known as a peacemaker, someone who could diffuse tense situations with a few simple words. One day, as Ethan sat in the town square sipping his coffee, a young man approached him with a troubled expression on his face. "I don't know what to do," the young man confessed. "I'm so angry all the time, and it's ruining my life." Ethan smiled knowingly and invited the young man to sit beside him. As he shared the wisdom he had learned from the old man, he knew that he was passing on a priceless gift, the gift of controlling anger and choosing kindness instead. And so, in the quaint town nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, the keys to controlling anger were passed down from one generation to the next. And Ethan, once known for his fiery temper, became a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who crossed his path.